Welcome back to another episode of Trucking and Politics, and welcome to 2024. I got discovered on YouTube, but it's not what you think. You don't want to miss this.
Freedom has many difficulties, and democracy is not perfect. But we have never had to put a wall up to keep our people in.
Take me back to a place where I felt at home. Take me back to a day when we weren't alone. Take me back to an age when the world felt small. Way back before we blew it all.
So, welcome back. I got a strange text message the other day, and I wanted to recap. I don't know for sure if I've said this before on this channel, but I have not told anyone besides my wife that I'm doing YouTube. And like I said, I have several truck driver friends I talk to on a weekly basis, sometimes a monthly basis. None of them know that I am doing this. So the other day, I got a text message from one of those truck drivers, and it was a link to one of my videos on YouTube here, and he said, "Wow, you're famous." I'm famous. Can you imagine the shock to him just going through random YouTube videos and clicking on one and watching the intro come up, and then surprise, here I am. He didn't know that I was doing it, and I could imagine the shock. But can you imagine the coincidence? Because he lives a couple hours away from me. He lives in Arkansas as well. And for all the thousands, millions of trucking videos that there are on YouTube, with all of the creators out there on YouTube, what are the odds that he clicked on my video? It seems weird to me. But then again, I mean, you discovered me, so he discovered me as well. I just think that it's funny and it's weird. Anyway, this thanks for letting me have a little bit of fun there with that. Hopefully you enjoyed that story too. But this video here, what I'm wanting to do with this video is, first off, thank you, and not to sound too mushy or too over the top here, but you have turned it around for me in ways that you don't realize. Going back to the video that my friend watched and clicked on and everything, I didn't think anyone would watch my videos. And going through the analytics of my channel, you're not only clicking on my videos, most people are watching almost half of the videos. If you don't know about YouTube, I studied YouTube a little bit before I started doing YouTube. I didn't know how to do it. I have never taken a computer class, ever. Actually, I take that back. I took a brief, I guess, intro class. It wasn't a computer class per se. It was a brief introduction to computers when I was in Votech back many, many moons ago. That was a long time ago, right after I got out of high school, late 80s. And basically, it was how to turn a computer on, what a window is, how to open and close a window, and how to pull a file up. That's basically all it consisted of. Very, very bare minimum. And not to pat myself on the back or gloat or anything like that. It's just being honest and real. This all is self-learned. I asked my wife about it because she's way more computer savvy than me, and I said, "How do I do this? How do I even start it?" And she said, "Ask Google, ask YouTube. You know, there's got to be videos on there how to do a YouTube channel, what you need to do." So I took off and I started watching videos on cameras and microphones and lighting and all of this stuff and content and what people want to watch and what people don't. When it all came down to it, I watched this one YouTuber. I wish I could remember his name. But in the end, he said, do what you enjoy. Do what content you like. Because if you get into it and you start getting a lot of viewers, it is something that more or less you will get addicted to, even if you don't make a lot of money on it. And to be honest, that's never really been my whole purpose, I guess, is to use YouTube as a source of money. I feel like I'm going to be a truck driver for a long time. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. But I enjoy doing this. I enjoy bringing this knowledge of my last 23 years to you. I enjoyed the kick that it gave me that my friend discovered and found me on YouTube. I love all of your comments. It makes my day. I get up a lot of times in the morning and log on to my YouTube and just go straight to the comments and read you guys' comments. It makes my day. Some are not good. Some are kind of mediocre. And some are just, wow. I mean, it just makes me smile and it makes my day. And like I said, I don't mean to be too mushy or too over the top with it. But you got to think, when I started this, I was really slow in my approach, and a lot of people have commented about that with me, that my voice and my draw, as one guy called it. I'm from Arkansas. I mean, we have a southern drawl. We have a slow approach about doing things and talking and everything. We're not speed readers. We're not speakers. We get confused on our words a lot. It doesn't mean that we're dumb. It's just, you should have saw the way it was in Arkansas when I was a child growing up. There was an old country store. I'm going to put a picture up here, right here, to show you what was next door to my house growing up. people would sit on the front porch of this old store. Not kidding. Old men would sit there and have a pocket knife, and what they called it whittling a stick. They would cut off the end of a stick to make a point or try to make some design out of it, spitting tobacco, and just sitting there talking. And they might talk for 5 minutes and go for an hour and not say anything at all. Just sit there whittling on their stick and spitting their tobacco. Arkansas was very, very laid back. And if you want to say all the jokes about Arkansas, trust me, I've heard every one of them. What you consider smart or dumb, it's relative. You know, the smartest man in the world may not know what a spark plug is for a car. Somebody that you consider dumb is a brilliant artist. It's relative, you know? So that's why I try not to fall into that. I don't try to get my feelings hurt when people say that. Plus, I've got thick skin. Like I said many times, I used to be a manager in a grocery store, and I dealt with teenagers. Anyone that's dealt with teenagers know that you have to have the patience of Job to deal with them. So there's that. But this video here, what I'm wanting to do is say thank you so much. I can't say it enough. I really can't. I've been looking at my analytics. I've been looking at everything. You guys are watching so much of my videos. It has just exploded here in the last bit, in the last part of November and December. And like I said, if you don't know YouTube, most people just click through videos. You know, they'll watch 30 seconds or 1 minute and then click off of it and go. A lot of my videos are being watched 6 minutes, 8 minutes, 10 minutes of the video. That's really unheard of with YouTube. Some of the bigger sites, the bigger names out there, Timcast, if you know him, Tim Pool with Timcast, Mr. Beast, I'm drawing a blank with some of the bigger names out there. Tucker Carlson, I guess he's more on X than he is on YouTube, but a lot of his videos get posted on YouTube, hopefully with his permission. They're not just bootlegging his videos over, but a lot of his videos get huge views, long period of views like that. So obviously maybe I'm a little interesting, hopefully, because it kind of shows up in my analytics that that is what it is. But like I said, folks, I didn't think this would go anywhere. I didn't really know where it would go. I didn't know if it would be an instant hit where I had just 10 million viewers, or, you know, I would just lag on for weeks and months and just have 1 or 2 views, maybe 10 views out here, you know. And wow, I mean, you guys have just surpassed my expectations of what I thought would happen here. So 2024, what is going to happen? I guess you have to look at it as what subject you're talking about. One, I feel like it will be the last year of Joe Biden, which is an excellent thing. It will be the last year of the Democratic hostile takeover, insurrection of our federal government. I know they want to throw that on Trump and January 6th and all this. This is an insurrection. Yeah, little old grandmother carrying a purse, walking through the building that gets arrested. They ought to be ashamed of themselves, calling her an insurrectionist. I don't know if you've read about that story or heard about it, the little grandmother they arrested, but go check it out if you haven't. That's just abomination is what that is, of what the Democratic Party is doing. The Democrats are doing. Hopefully this will be the last year. Hopefully everyone will speak and get them out of office. Go. Push them out. The other thing, like I said, 2023, December 2023 was my 23rd year anniversary of truck driving. I graduated MS Carriers Trucking School in December of 2000 and went to work for them. So that was my 23rd year anniversary. Thank you very much for congratulating me. I know everyone is saying that. Hopefully you are. So that's why I wanted to start this channel, is to give back. You know, it really wasn't about money. I know YouTube will eventually pay. I'm not getting paid right now, just so you know. I get $0, zero ad revenue, nothing whatsoever from YouTube. No sponsors, no supporters money-wise, nothing I do. The camera I bought with cash. I have a microphone over here off camera that you don't see. Bought it with cash. My cash from truck driving. The light up here that you've probably seen in some of my other videos, it flickers every now and then because it's cheap. But that I bought to give a little more lighting in the cab here. And zero revenue so far. So hopefully that will change for me in 2024. Hopefully with your support and your viewership, that will change, and we can go forward, and who knows, sky's the limit for me, folks. I will be here for the duration, however long it lasts, and as long as I've got time to do it, as long as you are watching, as long as we have some mutual interest and subject matter here to talk about, I'll be here, and hopefully you will too. I enjoy every one of you, and I appreciate all of your comments. Love it. Absolutely love it. And thank you again. Thank you for making this end of 23 start coming up for me. And 2024 is looking great. Every time I look at my YouTube on there, I am just very humbled, very set back, and I'm speechless almost that so many people are tuning in and clicking on these and watching these videos. I mean, it's just amazing. I read a thing the other day about how long it takes to get monetized and how long it takes to get, I think, 5,000 subscribers to where you get monetized. I think that's where it is. Maybe it's 4,000. You can correct me if I'm wrong. I don't have the numbers in front of me. It's about 4,000 or 5,000 subscribers and so many views. That's when you start switching over to get monetized. Just the other day, folks, I mean, it was just literally just the other day, I posted thank you for having, I think, 150 subscribers. That was just the other day. And now I've passed 300 because of you. You did that. And I thank you for doing that. And this channel is just, it's blowing my mind. It's just blowing my mind how you guys are just tuning in and clicking and watching this and commenting, and this video, as you can tell, is not really about trucking and politics. This is about 2023, 2024, this channel, and what the road ahead is for trucking and politics. And the other thing, I left some notes here for me. The other thing that I wanted to concentrate on is I saw this problem coming years ago. I saw the hostile takeovers of companies. Big companies getting bigger, buying out smaller companies, growth of these mega carriers. When I first started driving a truck in 2000, you saw a few of them here and there. My dad actually drove for one of these mega carriers, and they were out and about, but the roads were filled with W9s and Peterbilt 359s, 379s, and people were still getting. I remember I stopped at a truck stop in Florida one time, and there was a guy still out there doing the hand pinstripes on the trucks, and and laying the tape out and putting the words on the door, putting the driver's name on the door of the truck, handwriting it. That was before the vinyl stickers went crazy out here. That it was so much pride and enthusiasm and energy in trucking, and people would love to sit around and talk about their Kenworths and their Peterbilts and Caterpillars. You had all of the constant talking about, oh, my N14 Cummins is the greatest engine. My Cat 3408 is the best pulling engine you'll ever have. A Caterpillar will pull like a bulldozer. They would sit and nitpick and argue with each other about stuff like that, and it was fun times. Some of the older drivers out here know what I'm talking about. Party Row, you remember Party Row? And younger truck drivers not even know what I'm talking about with that. You don't understand that. Kick it back to Channel 24. You remember that? Remember those days? I'm not going into it. I'm not, but you can explain it down at the comments. You can tell people what I'm talking about. The bad part of it, is the government is using like a military style takeover. I was thinking about this earlier. It's like a military assault. They're hitting us from the top or the front, with rules and regulations and pushing forward with all of these takeovers and everything, and the government just sits back and lets them do it. Just pushing all these rules and regulations through. I was just looking the other day, from I think it was 1932 until 1962, if I remember correctly, there was nothing changed about trucking and rules and regulations. Nothing changed. And then in 62 or 63, something along that lines. They did to where you could split your sleeper berth in 2 sections of 4 hours. And that was it. That was all they changed about it. But since then, it has just been rule and regulation and rule and regulation and just hammering us with it. And nonstop. You know, it's just nonstop rules and regulations. At the same time, the lobbyists are just funneling money in from these corporate entities and special interest groups. Some people call it the dark state. You know, it's this money laundering is what it is. They're bringing it in, and it's funneling into the federal government's pockets. So that's why they just sat back and let this all transpire. And then the federal government does their dirty deeds for them and lets the immigrants come in, illegal or not. Some are called refugees, some are called immigrants. And I want to say something right here. If you're bilingual, if you speak English and Spanish, let's just say, you're a very smart person. You're not dumb at all. I cannot speak 2 languages. It would be impossible almost for me to speak 2 languages. I know little bits and pieces, words here and there of other languages, and I probably mispronounce those. And one commenter said on the channel, "Are you sure English is your first language?" He's being harsh, and that's fine. I've got tough skin. I can handle it. Yeah, I get mixed up on my words sometimes, and I don't follow a script. That's something that a lot of people don't know, is a lot of YouTubers out here have teleprompters. They're professional YouTubers. They have a teleprompter right here beside of the camera, and they're sitting there reading off of their teleprompter. I have nothing. I have a notebook with some notes on it and a camera, and that's it. Yeah, I get a little confused from now and then. You know, I get sidetracked with what I'm talking about. But this government takeover thing, and with these immigrants, I saw one today. I don't even know how to start even describing this guy. I couldn't get my camera out fast enough to record him. But the dock that I was in getting loaded was one where you pulled off of the street and you were facing the dock. You had to make a really hard turn and pull up into the employee parking lot and back up. There was nowhere in this parking lot for you to park. You had to park on the street, go check in. You wrote your phone number down, and they called you when a door was open. This guy tried to pull in, and I was throwing my hands up going, no, stop. And all the docks were full. I mean, he would have gotten so stuck in there. I opened my door to go start out, and he opened his door and walked over to me instead. And I was saying, man, you can't pull in here. You got to park out on the road and wait until a truck leaves. Huh? That was his response. Huh? He didn't understand a word I said. And that's when I saw that look. You know what I'm saying? That look in their eye when they're just lost. And I said, wait. Go park your truck on the road. Huh? Hey, I mean, no communication. None. And then another driver, a couple of doors down from me, he come over, and he was a very kind of rude guy. And he started yelling at the guy, you know, almost cussing him out and yelling, you know, go park your truck. And the guy looked at him, huh? You know, and then anyway, to get to the end of this story, when he finally did understand understand kind of what we were saying. And he parked his truck. He went in and gave him his phone number, went out and sat in his truck. The guy next to me pulled out. This guy that couldn't speak English started pulling in. He couldn't drive. He got his trailer hung up on a rock. And I was thinking, oh my gosh, really? So he backed up. He didn't get it completely stuck on the rock. He backed up, got off of the rock, swung out, and it was like his truck was here, his trailer was here. Let me see if I can do this. It was like a 45, and he wasn't anywhere close to the dock. And he just was up and back and up and back and up and back. I bet it took him 30 times, and I finally got out and was trying to help him guide back, and there was no communication. I couldn't tell him what to do, and I was going like this, you know, with the wheel wrong, other way, and he would spin it, and then he would stop and then start spinning it the other way. And how do these guys get DOT'd? Answer me that. If there's a DOT officer for some odd reason watching this channel, how do you DOT those guys that cannot speak English? Turn your headlights on, huh? Turn your turn signal on, huh? And they want to say it's about, with us, it's about safety. You have rules and regulations because of safety. And there's guys out here that can't even speak English that are traveling up and down the road. Anyway, I'm going too far with this. This is not what this video is about. It's about you supporting me, about trucking and politics and this channel and moving forward. That's what this video is about. Well, thank you for letting me go on my rant. It really wasn't a rant. It's just... it's frustration is what it is. How can they say it's about safety when they can't even speak English? And they have a rule on the books. You have to speak right and understand English. But then they put guys out that can't. And no, I don't see anyone stopping them. They have to go through the weigh scales. They have to be being inspected. Are they just catching them and deporting them and telling them you can't have your CDL? You can't have a CDL. You don't speak English. Is that what's going on? If there's a DOT officer watching this channel, put it in the comments and tell me, is that what is happening? If so, then it seems like to me, for every one that you pull off of the road, 10 more come in. Anyway, that's a mind-blowing thing to me. That was a thing that I had on my notes about the military style thing. They're hitting us from one side, coming up the flank with the other side, and we as law-abiding truck drivers that are out here trying to make a living, trying to scratch out a living and pay our bills, we're just getting slammed. We're just absolutely getting slammed by certain people allowed to take rules and sidestep them or loophole them and go around them and keep working. I don't understand that. I don't understand our federal government. I don't understand our rules and our laws, and none of it makes sense anymore. And I saw this 20-something years ago, you know, at least 15 years ago, and I kept doing the normal truck driving thing and just griping and griping and griping. And I finally said, you know what? Somebody needs to do something. Instead of just sitting griping about it, do something. And that's what brought on this YouTube channel. That's what brought it on. and let's see where it goes. I mean, I'm all in favor of doing whatever it takes to get our country back to the way that it was. I know a lot of people are pessimistic about it. You know, you're wasting your breath, you're wasting your time. It will never go back to the way that it was. This is the best it will get, and it will never get better from here. I just can't. I can't give up like that. I can't. I can't give up like that. There has got to be hope. If you don't have hope and you don't have faith, you don't have anything. You don't. You've got to have hope. You've got to have faith in your life. And if we are so beat down and so broken that we can't even have hope and faith, why are we here and why are we doing this job? Just to have $1,000 this week and have it cut back to $600 next week and have it cut down to $100 the week after, to where people say, well, you just go to work for free because we tell you you have to have a job. I mean, how far down are we going to go before we say enough is enough? They've already taken all of the pre-emission trucks basically and scrapped them out and make us run junk emission trucks. I had another owner operator the other day lost his truck. He is actually not a direct friend of mine. He's a friend of a friend, but I have spoken to him on many occasions. He actually lost his truck the other day. Had to give it up. I mean, how far down are we going to go before enough is enough? You know, we want Peterbilts, not these new Peterbilts, the 359s, the 379s, the 389s, the glider kits. We want those trucks, and the government wants them off of the road. Did you see the new story? I heard it first actually from a YouTuber, Mother Trucker. I was watching his channel earlier today, and Prime is getting into hopper bottoms. What is 80-90% of the hopper bottoms you see out here on the road? Older pre-emission trucks. They're going after that segment now. You know, I see some really, there goes one right there. I'm in a parking lot doing this video. Really nice Western Star, lights all over it, pulling a hopper bottom. His days are numbered. His days are numbered. Unless we do something to stop the flow of the corporate takeovers. We've got to slow it down. We've got to stop this. And it's not a direct hit at Prime, you know, just slamming Prime. It's not a direct hit to them. It's across the board. These mega carriers are just, I mean, more is not enough for them. They're not going to stop until they completely take over everything. And once they take over everything, then they can control the market, and they can control your checking account, and they can control how much money you have, and they'll bring your rates, they'll bring your paychecks. You know, there's videos all over YouTube about, you know, I made X amount of money with this corporate company this week. It's advertisements. They're paid to get on there and do these videos. And I made X amount of dollars on this for this. What's it going to be in another 5 or 10 years? They'll cut it down even farther, you know. So that's about all of my rants. Thank you for listening to it, but a synopsis of my channel and what all we are about, and the road ahead for 2024 is going to be more of the same, talking about trucking and politics and corporate takeovers and what the government is doing and how they're going about it, and more charts and more of this, and just throwing it out there. We're just going to be hammering it out and throwing the stuff out there and seeing what works and what doesn't. A question I have for you, if you've made it this far in the video, hopefully you have. Here's the thing that I have been mulling over. I am from Arkansas. There is a lot of news in Arkansas, Northeast Arkansas, specifically where I'm from, Memphis. If you don't know, they've had a big shakeup in Memphis because of all the violence, and you probably saw the videos where the FedEx truck was broke into, and right around Christmas they were warning truck drivers in the Memphis area to be extra careful because thieves are on the loose in Memphis. It's just a free-for-all over there. My thing is, should I incorporate some of those subject matters of fun little things about Arkansas, like this picture that I showed you about the little country store that used to be across from my house? Should I put stuff in about Arkansas and Western Tennessee and how it affects the politics that are going on there? Or should I just strictly concentrate this channel, like Mother Trucker, that is just trucking subject alone? That's all he does on his channel. I've watched him for a long time. That's all he does, is just mainly trucker news is what he does. I want to do it more in a political way, of showing what the downfall of trucking is, what trucking used to be, what trucking is present day, and what trucking will be in the future if we don't slow down and stop this. So I guess my thing is, I'm asking you. I have put a few videos out about Arkansas, about Sarah Huckabee Sanders, a couple of things out there, and a couple of them got some really good views. A couple of them were duds that didn't go anywhere. But should I do more of those type of videos? Should I just stick with trucking alone? Let me know. Let me know what you think, and we'll go from there with it. I guess that's about all I have with this video, is just more of the same of trucking and politics in the future. And hopefully we will have a fine, outstanding year 2024. Maybe not in trucking, maybe not in politics. I don't know. We can look into that a little bit more. Hopefully Biden will get out of the office. I'm not looking for a banner 2024 because he's still in office. He's not going to allow it to just explode and take off and go. We'll probably see a little growth in the second or third quarter of the year, but then whenever it starts getting election time, the latter part of the third quarter, who knows? I mean, if Trump gets to be president, 2025 is just going to be a crazy year. Crazy year. 2024 this year, I'm going to work on this channel. I'm going to work on just getting as much information out there as I possibly can and growing this channel as far as you will allow me to let it grow. But let me know about the Arkansas thing. I think it'll be fun. Inside of there's a lot of stuff about Arkansas that I know that I can share with you that maybe you don't know. Inside about politics and different things that are going on. Should I start a different channel for just that Arkansas stuff and keep that over there and keep trucking and politics here? Let me know. Let me know what your thoughts are, and your comments, and we'll go from there. Thank you again. Thank you again for making this so enjoyable. And 2023 was great. The last part of it when I started this channel was great. 2024 is going to be even better. Thank you all for watching. Have a great day.